I received an email inquiry about the Jumpstart post. An owner wants to put brass hardware on his Jumpstart post the way I have done, and he's having a hard time figuring out what size, diameter, and thread pitch the Jumpstart post is. This is how the Jumpstart post comes from the factory. And as you can clearly see, the stud is brass, but all the hardware is steel. And the nuts, the hex on the nuts is quite small. So if you wanted to replace this steel hardware with brass hardware and put, bigger hex nuts on it, the $10,000 question is, what is the size and the thread pitch of this stud? So you can get nuts that match. And it's obviously not metric coarse thread. Diameter's okay, but the thread pitch is just nowhere near close. So a lot of people say, it must be metric fine thread. And if you get a metric 8x1 tap, once again, our diameter is fine, but the thread pitch doesn't match. It's closer, but it still doesn't match. So that's when people say, must be 5/16 UNF, 5/16 fine thread. And once again, if you get a 5/16 by 24 tap, diameter is fine. 8 millimeters and 5/16 are basically identical. And the thread pitch is the same. These are obviously 24 threads per inch, but my tap is not going down into the threads. The peaks all match up, but I can't get the tap to sink down into the threads. And the reason is these threads have a different profile than 5/16 UNF. Okay, it's the same number, 24 threads per inch. But this is an obscure British size known as 5/16 Whitworth. And the only place you're going to find a nut, 5/16 Whitworth nut, is going to be on British eBay. They're frightfully expensive, and they're made of steel. And they're this size. You end up right back where you started from. So if you want to use standard size UNF hardware, so this is a 5/16 by 24 nut, you're going to have to change the shape of the threads. As you can see, this nut starts threading on smooth as silk, but very quickly it binds, and now it's not going any further. And the reason is because these threads on the stud are 55 degrees. The angle of the thread is 55 degrees, and UNF is 60 degrees. It's the right diameter, it's the right number of threads per inch, but the angle is wrong. So what I did on my car, I used the 5/16 by 24 die and just ran the die down the stud, removing just a little bit of material from the angles. Okay, I still had 24 threads per inch, but by the time I was finished, they were 60-degree angles rather than 55-degree angles. And that's how I put UNF hardware on my stud. Now, a word about taps and dies. First and foremost, you want made in USA, or made in Germany, or made in Japan. I'll use any of those three origins, but that's it, exclusively. If you use made in China, or made in India, or made in Indonesia, or anywhere else, taps and dies, you deserve all the problems you're going to get. Second, you got to use a shitload of cutting oil. Okay? This one won't be quite as critical because it's brass, but like if you're tapping threads in aluminum, you're going to use an unbelievable amount of oil. Get yourself a proper die wrench. Don't try to use a flat wrench or a socket wrench or something like that. Get a proper die wrench. And then finally, your technique. You don't just get the die and run it like that. No. The way you cut threads, shitload of oil, take a bite, back it off, because what that bite's going to do is it's going to create a little shaving. Backing it off breaks the shaving off. Take a bite, break it off. Take a bite, break it off. Take it bite, break it off. Periodically, take it off, clean out your die, re-lubricate everything with a shitload of oil, and then pick up where you left off. Take a bite, back it 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 off. And eventually, you'll get all the way to the base of your stud. And now your stud will be 5/16 by 24, and you can just use regular UNF hardware, which is what I did on my car.